Africa has the largest landmass, more than US, Europe and China combined, but also holds more than 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land. This is why the continent's share in global agricultural production remains low. According to a World Bank report in 2021, has over 34 million hectares of arable land. Regrettably, only 37% of that is utilized for food production. This explains why Nigeria spends over $5 billion annually in the importation of food and dairy products. Despite the aforementioned scenario, agriculture contributes over 25% of the GDP to the Nigerian economy between 2019 and 2021. Agriculture also employs more than 70% of the Nigerian population and major source for rural livelihood and economic activity. Therefore, if Nigeria is to achieve self-sufficiency and attain food security, the private sector must make huge investment in the backward integration to support smallholder farmers to change the production configuration and supply ecosystem. The need for food security is non-negotiable. This is especially true for a country like Nigeria with an exploding population and oil revenues. The country has a high number of poor population, with more than half living below $1 per day. To shore up revenue, create jobs and wealth to the people, there is need to build a strong framework for non-oil sectors and drive a transformation in areas like agriculture and mining. However, the task of diversifying the country's revenue base is not meant for government alone. Riding on this conviction, an indigenous company with global repute, Silvex International Limited, is changing the narrative, enriching lives and contributing immensely to the nation's economy.
We are a company that came into being driven by growing ideas for innovation, growing ideas for growth, and of course we came into being to add value to the agricultural value chain in Nigeria. We do production, aggregation, processing and export. So we virtually do or involve in all the agricultural value chain, from the downstream, the midstream, and of course the upper stream of the agricultural value chain, in order to contribute to the economic growth and development.
Since 2014, when the company was incorporated, it has metamorphosed from a mere commodity trading company into a fully integrated enterprise with diverse interests in production, processing, aggregation and trading.
We are presently aggregating commodities from about 26 states in Nigeria, and we are also covering 7 countries in West and Central Africa. We are aggregating about 25,000 metric tons of different commodities per annum, and we are also involved in trading of these commodities locally here in Nigeria and in key global markets in Asia, in the Middle East, in Europe and the United States.
The firm has continued to grow and expand into a dominant force in agribusiness from within northern Nigeria to the length and breadth of the country and even beyond. But what makes Silvex unique?
You can't be doing the same thing and be expecting different results. So it is based on this realization over the time that we came up with new innovations, new ideas which are in tune with our vision and mission, and of course core values, that we'll have to understand the needs and yearning of the customers we serve and the client we serve, and of course we proper solutions to the demands of the market. What do we do differently that others doesn't is absolutely a kind of a holistic approach to change the narrative.
On their farms, in production and processing centers, and in their various warehouses, there is a clear picture of a company that is well grounded and extremely practical in their approach. In recent years, Silvex International Limited has joined other stakeholders in Nigeria's push for self-sufficiency in rice, a move that has seen the nation move up the ladder to become Africa's largest producer of rice paddy.
Our companies felt that we should cue into the government policy to promote the outgrower scheme. And last year, in the dry season, we supported 500 hectares of rice in Jigawa. In the rainy season of 2020, we again promoted 500 hectares of rice. Now this year, 2021 dry season, we are promoting 900 hectares of outgrower rice production. Last year, we operated in 6 local governments of Jigawa State. Now we are expanding to 9 local governments.
Through the Outgrowers scheme, Silvex, along with its partners, have not only been able to enhance rice production in Jigawa State, but is boosting the capacity of farmers with improved seedlings, along with other farm inputs and the necessary knowledge and skills for better farm practices.
Currently what we are doing at Silvex is that we are using 900 hectares of farmers' feed, trying to introduce them to a new variety of rice which is flood tolerant. Over the years, we all realized that there is a problem of flooding during the rainy season farming, and these have affected farmers' yield seriously. Considering the importance of rice in Nigerian economy today, we feel that there is a need for us to come in as a private sector to boost the production of farmers, to make their livelihood more better. By achieving that is what we are now doing, what we call our outgrower scheme. By contracting 900 farmers, we gave them input, quality input, and a rice variety that is tolerant to flooding. That is Faro 66 and Faro 67. These 2 varieties are very good and high yielding. Our expected yield is around 8 tons per hectare. But on the farmers' field, we are expected to get maybe 7 tons per hectare.
There is also Summers 53, an improved variety also released in 2013. It's also a good yielding variety with a yield of up to 7.2 tons per hectare. That's about 96 bags. With good practices, actually it also surpasses the 100 bags limit. It's also high in protein, so it's a seed when produced that can mitigate the protein deficiency levels within rural communities that are not able to afford animal protein. It complements the protein, so it's very important, and the yield is very good to farmers with high economic returns.
We train the farmers on the very good agronomic practices, on the production and all the value chain. We empower the farmers. We ask them specifically on their needs, their requirements, on what they need in terms of fertilizers, in terms of seeds, in terms of chemicals, and of course we give them at the appropriate time. But the most unique fact of the scheme is that while other companies are very mindful of making huge profit, we are very mindful of giving back to the society, which means investing more in the backward integration to support the smallholder farmers by not adding a mark of profit on the input.
Those farmers we supported are getting a lot in return out of their efforts and our support. For example, about 2 months ago, we visited one of the sites at Azomu. A farmer introduced his younger brother who benefited from our scheme last year, and he netted over $1 million from a hectare from the proceeds of the rice we supported him. And he said from that proceed he was able to buy a vehicle, and the vehicle is now involved in commercial services, and it is the proceeds from the commercial services that are being recycled to support this year's cropping cycle. So you can see the impact.
The outgrower scheme for our rice farmers in Jigawa State is a unique project for us in the sense that it is not our only outgrower scheme. Silvex is presently cultivating over 5,000 hectares in different locations spread across the country, in different regions of the country. And we are also doing about 2,600 hectares of outgrower scheme for rice alone.
That impact is not a mere coincidence. It is the result of a passion that runs deep within the fabric of the brains behind the company. Their impact on farmers is achieved through three main activities: provision of inputs such as improved seeds and seedlings, capital, fertilizer, pesticides, and so on; farmer education and capacity building on agronomy, storage and other farming practices; and off-taking of farmer produce at competitive market prices. Out in the field, there are clear indications that Silvex is a company on a mission to change the status quo and disrupt the industry in a way that has never been seen. This is achieved through deeply entrenched cornerstones of integrity, passion, service to humanity, innovation and technology. Here is a team of young Nigerians defying the odds and contributing their quota to nation building.
The most important value we believe we are adding to the agribusiness, first of all in Nigeria, is to show example that young people can actually key into agricultural sector and of course make significant impacts. What do? As young people, we don't rely on government to give us jobs. From very onset out of the university, we've decided to be employers of labor. We've decided to also give ourselves jobs and give other people jobs. So we are today employers of labor. That is number one thing. Number two, we have contributed to the economic growth of the country, because today when you look at the kind of employment opportunities we created, and of course the kind of farmers we are empowering, not only because as we speak today, we are working with over 2,600 farmers. If you can take into cognizance the actual computation of the multiplier effects of their livelihood, you can calculate it in thousands in terms of impact and of course in terms of changing their livelihood and the narratives of the society.
The testimonies from some farmers are a clear proof of the results achieved so far.
Silvex help us with the fertilizer, chemicals, seeds, and then some advices, because the person that is in charge of our area, he used always to come to our farms. Since the beginning of the farm preparation, land preparation, he gives us some advices. You need to do this, you need to do that, don't do this and that.
A wannan tsare-tsaren da Silvex take gudanar wannan aikin namu, kaga manomi yanzu yana iya noma a hekta ɗaya yana samun buhu 100, sama da buhu 100, saboda kaya mai kyau da kuma kulawa da shawarwari.
Dan daga bara zuwa bana, wallahi in babu wannan kamfani, wani aka ce noma hinkafa ta kai buhu 10, wallahi ba zai iya ba. Amma sakamakon shigowar wannan kamfani na Silvex Nigeria Limited, an samu kyakkyawan taimako da kuma tallafi.
Muna godiya da karkashin wannan kamfani Silvex da ya shigo mana karkashin manomanmu, wanda ya yada muna samun ya ninka na baya can da muke na iyaye da kakanni. Don haka mun gode wa Allah, mun gode wa wannan kamfani da ya shigo muna.
Wannan kamfani Silvex International, mu ba abin da za mu ce masa alhamdulillah. Kaga wancan shekarar abin da na samu alhamdulillah, kaga na yi aure a wannan sakamakon ina ga a lokacin ba ni da hanyarsa, na saya yara na babu, kuma ni ma na sayi nawa na hawa, kuma kamfanin nan cinikinsu suna mana adalci fiye da yadda baka tsammani. Sakamakon kaga abin da ake ciniki a kasuwa a wani lokacin ma biyan sai ga nasa har ya fi hawa. Kuma kamfanin nan mu alhamdulillah sakamakon da wani ma bai san banki ba, amma kaga yanzu wannan kamfani Silvex ya bi mu har ƙauyuka ya bubuɗe mana abin nan account wanda yake in ka je ka aka sayi kayanka suka cire bashinsu da suka baka za su tura ma kuɗinka account.
Kamfanin Silvex ya taimaka mana a harkar noma, muna noma da ban ma abin nomar yanzu ya taimaka mana.
Magana ta gaskiya na ji daɗi 100% kamar yadda ake ta ba mu tallafi da shauransu, kuma yanzu har abubuwa sun canja. Yanzu nan ma ga dabobi ga gine-gine in ka koma wani sassan za ka gani, kuma da ba mu da abin da za mu iya noma rabin shakta ma, yanzu gashi muna noma shakta 2 wani sai noma shakta 10 ma.
Kuma mun sami ingantaccen taki wanda ba mu taɓa yin amfani da shi ba, kuma mun sami ingantaccen shawarwari daga malaman gonanmu da wakilai wanda za su yi mana tattaki su gaya muke tafi da al'amuranmu. Wannan abin muka rasa a baya, yanzu kuma mun tsinci kanmu da shi, to alhamdulillah.
Mun samu maganin feshi wannan kamar solito, bayan ka yi zuba iri za ka iya yi masa fisa, duk wata ciyawa da ta fito zai kashe ta, wacce kuma ba ta fita ba zai kashe irin da yake ƙasa. Babu wani kamfani ko wata ƙungiya da ta taɓa zuwa ta ɗauki taki golden ta ba mu a harka ta noman shinkafa, amma wannan kamfanoni guda biyu sakamakon sanin muhimmancin noman shinkafa da kimata kuma da yunkurin su taimakawa ƙasar mu Najeriya musamman arewa, suka yi nazari suka kawo mana taki ingantacce muke amfani da shi, kuma sun ba mu shi akan farashi mai sauƙi, wanda kamar yadda za mu je mu sa kuɗi mu sai shi a doron kasuwa akan haka aka ba mu. Nadiyar harkokin noman na yanzu na ya aure, a cikin satin nan ma an ɗaura min aure, wannan kuma duka yana daga cikin shi ne babban arziki na ɗan adam, wanda babu silar arzikin da ta wuce ɗan adam ko ba gaskiya ba. Kuma bayan nan na gina gida, ina da ɗan abin hawa na da zan zo gona in biya bukatuna in koma gidana, kuma a cikin gida in koma ina da abin da zan ci na sha.
Wannan tallafi da aka bamu na noman shinkafa jika tare da mu da mazajenmu mun ji daɗinsa, mun kuma yi godiya jika tare da wannan aiki da aka bamu tallafi na M&A da Silvex.
Wannan kamfani da ya fito mana A&M da Silvex, mun samu abubuwa na noma. Yau na samu keken ɗinki, na samu ga awaki na can a rumfa, kuma wannan kamfani muna so ya daɗa haɓaka, Allah ya ƙara masa daraja. Wannan kamfani ai ta yinsa, mazajenmu sun samu gonakai, sun samu abincin da za su ciyar da mu. Saboda haka mun godiya muke, Allah ya saka da alkhairi.
Abin da zan yi jan hankali a kai a matsayina na dama can malamin gona, kuma muka zo muke aiki da wannan kamfani na M&A da Silvex International, to gaskiya dama ce wadda duk wani manomi da yake Najeriya ko arewacin Najeriya bai taba samu ba face yanzu. Domin me, a baya za ka noma amfanin gonar sai ka kai shi kasuwa ma sai ka taho ka bashi ko kuma ka sai da bashi, kuma sannan babu ingantattun kayayyakin aiki da za ka noma ka samu abin da ake bukata. To amma a yanzu shigowar waɗannan kamfanuka guda biyu M&A da kuma Silvex International shi ne suna da ƙwararru a cikinsu, duk wata hanya da za a ba a inganta noman nan sun samar da ita.
Ni godiya zan yi wa su wannan kamfani M&A and Silvex International, ne musu godiya matuƙa da gaske, saboda kusan dai wannan program da suka kawo kusan shekta 900 ne wadda za a yi wannan jiha ta Jigawa, kuma a wani hekta 900 nan kusan jihar local government ita ce kusan take da 30% daga ciki. 30% kwatun da kusan can 300 ne a nan za a karamar kuma jihun za a yi shi, su abin da aka bawa kenan. Kaga kusan mu muke da ribar ko kuma muke za mu ci gajiyar wannan hiri a fiye da sauran wuraren ma da aka kawo, saboda haka muna godiya matuƙa da gaske.
As no man is an island, Silvex has been able to identify crucial partners to help advance its mission of developing the agricultural sector 1 hectare at a time. This collaboration is what led to the formation of the Kadume Green Consortium, overseeing an ambitious 900-hectare rice project in Jigawa state. The consortium consists of 3 growth-driven companies, namely Silvex International Limited, M&A Greenery Nigeria Limited, and Adab Agri Resources Limited.
This is a project that was an initiative of a development project under the FCDO, the Links project, which is a project of the UK aid. So they brought this model of outgrower scheme that is fair and balanced. We looked at the model as one of the aggregators that initiated the project. We did our own trial. Other companies that are under the project did their own trial. After the trials, we come together, Silvex and M&As, to form a consortium, to pursue this project in Jigawa state. And I can tell you that this is the only outgrower scheme in Nigeria that I know that has a comprehensive package.
The main target of the project is to ensure sustainable supply of top quality paddy from the fields, and Silvex is interested in this top quality, so we partner to ensure that we give support to the farmers. And at the beginning we were looking at what we can get out of the project, but later I personally realized that the impact on the farmers is beyond what we imagined.
For this partner, the focus on rice goes beyond empowering rice farmers.
If you want to solve poverty problem in Nigeria, you have to be involved in rice. Rice in the past 5 years became, I think, the most produced commodity in the country, meaning that it has the most people involved in its production. So the more we produce rice, the better we produce rice, the more yield farmers get from rice, the more people are taken out of poverty, and the more wealth is created, and the more we become food secured.
The model, started out by the UK aid-sponsored Links project, is now being carried on by these noble organizations to change stories of their people.
In 2020, we had a rice rice intervention program we call the Rice Hub program, and Silvex International is one of the 4 aggregators that we worked with. And in fact, Silvex surpassed all the initial 3 that we had as aggregators. One thing that stands out from Silvex is from that pilot intervention, Silvex, with their business mind, thought that, oh, why should we have this good quality rice and then turn it out to somebody? Why not we take the whole benefit, since we are working across the value chain? So they set out to mill the rice. And before the end of our intervention, we already have Silvex rice already in the market.
إنا نسألك الخير كله آجله وعاجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم ونعوذ بك من الشر كله آجله وعاجله ما علمنا منه وما لم نعلم اللهم اغفر ذنوبنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما أعلنا.
Wannan biki da muke yi kamar bibiya ne akan wanda muka yi a wata uku da ya wuce a garin Kaduna, inda muka kaddamar da wannan shiri na aikin shinkafa na rani na hektar 900 wanda muke yi a ƙananan hukumomi guda 9 a Jigawa. Akwai ƙananan hukumomin Adeja, Auyo, Kauga, Makiri, Kasamma, Malam Madori, Kafin Hausa da Ringim da Miga da Jahu. Su ne suka zama guda 9. Kamar da muka faɗa a wancan shirin, muna ba manoma tallafi na kayan noma masu inganci a farashin kasuwa. Wannan shekarar bayan bara mun yi hektar 500 da rani, mun yi hektar 500 da damuna, bana Allah cikin ikonsa saboda haɗin kai da muka samu daga manoma mun kai shi zuwa hektar 900. Kuma bana mun ƙara da iri mai inganci, ilika guda 2, faro 66 da faro 67, wanda za mu je a gani a gona a ga yadda suke. Kuma muna da malaman gona da muke horarwa, kuma su suna ba da wannan horo su ma ga sauran manoma. Kuma muna samun tallafi na haɗin kai daga ƙungiyar nan ta links, wato DFID ko mu ce FCDO, wata hukuma ce ta ƙasar UK. To a wannan shiri mun ba wa manoma wannan tallafi, kuma Allah da ikonsa za mu ga yadda gonakin suke. Kuma idan Allah ya taimaka wannan manoma suka cika alkawari, wanda muna kyautata can za su cika wannan alkawari, wato su ba mu wannan kaya da suka noma, su biya mu bashi a farashin kasuwa, kuma su sayar mana sauran kayayyakin da suka noma. To insha Allahu mu ma za mu ƙara faɗaɗa wannan shiri a wannan damuna da kuma rani mai zuwa.
Muna mai matuƙar ƙara nana ta godiyarmu ga Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala da ya nuna mana wannan rana domin mu zo mu ƙara jaddada yi ma Allah godiya da irin nasarorin da muka ƙara samu bisa abin da muka gina a baya. Kamar yadda Profesa ya faɗa, a baya ranar da muka ƙaddamar da wannan shiri mun zo mun haɗu gaba ɗaya domin kawo alkhairi ma al'umma. A yau za mu ƙara bibiyan wannan al'amura ne bisa ga ni'imar da Ubangiji ya yi mana. Ɗaya daga cikin manufar yin wannan shine mu zo mu ga yabanya yadda Allah ya mata albarka, ya sa albarka a cikin irin abubuwan da muka yi, domin mu ƙara inganta abubuwan da muke, kuma mu ƙara nanata abin da yake shine mafi alkhairi, wato riƙe amana da cika alƙawari. Almuhim shine wanda suke da mahimmanci manoman nan su ma. Mun zo gare su domin mu taimake su, su ma kuma su taimake mu. So ɗaya daga cikin abin da muke kyautata zato, kamar yadda sarki ya kira da liman da duka sauran manyan mutanen da suka halarci taron da muka yi a baya, shine babu wani abin da yake da mahimmanci kamar biyan alkhairi da alkhairi. So muna fata cewar wannan al'amari yau za mu dawo gobe domin ƙara yin al'amuran da suka fi wannan, don kamar yadda muka ɗauki alkawari muka jaddada, idan muka ga abin da al'umma suka yi na cika alƙawura, to muna mai tabbatar muku cewar za mu samar da kuɗaɗe masu ɗimbin yawa domin faɗaɗa aikin nan mu zagaye duka jihar Jigawa da ƙarfin Allah.
Duk taimakon da ya kamata mu yi da zai daɗa tallafa musu, wannan consortium ɗin na Kaduna Green Consortium, duk abin da za mu yi mu daɗa tallafa musu saboda abin da suke daɗa bunƙasa. Za mu yi insha Allah. Allah ya taimaka.
A madadin rukunin kamfanin Mustali, muna taya wannan kungiyar manoma da suka karɓi wannan aiki godiya, muna taya su murna.
Ina so ne amfani da wannan dama na taya manoma da suka yi ci moriyar gajiyar wannan aiki murna, kuma da mu aka fara sanda aka gaddamar da wannan aiki, sanda aka yi da shi muka ga cewar abin yayi, to gashi Allah cikin ikonsa ya kawo mu lokacin da shinkafa ta yi kyau kuma manoma sun fara kirga buhuna. To ina fatan alheri, kuma hane jama'ar a shirye take da ta ci gaba da ba da gudunmawar ta ga manoma ta hanyar sakin ruwa a lokacin da ya dace, da bara shawarwari ta hanyar amfani da malaman gona da kuma duk abin da ya dace mai insha Allah. Muna fatan alheri ga manoma su kuma wanda suka shirya wannan aiki wato Silvex International. Mu ne masu fatan Allah ya karfafe su ya ƙara ba su basira da iko don taimakawa manomanmu.
So ina yi wa wannan kamfani fatan alheri, kuma a matsayinmu na 'yan majalisar tarayya masu kula da aikin noma za mu ci gaba da bada gudunmuwa musamman wajen inganta aikin gona da kuma dokoki wanda suka shafi harkar bincike. A ƙasar India kashi 70 cikin 100 na irin da ake nomawa duka abin da ake cewa hybrid ne. Dan guri kaɗan za ka samu amfani da yawa, amma ba za ka sake shuka shi ba sai dai ka siyo shi daga wajen wanda suka yi wannan iri. Saboda haka ina kira ga jama'a mu tabbatar cewa mutum ya abin da shari'a ta ce, in ka karɓi bashin mutane lallai ka biya. Wannan shi zai sa mana albarka, shi zai sa Allah ya bunƙasa abubuwan duk da muka sa a gaba na ci gaba a cikin rayuwarmu.
Shugabanni suna iya bakin ƙoƙarinsu can da can domin su ga al'umma sun sami sauƙi a halin rayuwa. To don haka ina kiran jama'a duk wanda yake da cikin wannan harka ya yi ƙoƙari ya riƙe amana, ya yi ƙoƙari ya kan cewa ya fidda kansa da al'umma da shi zuriyarsa kansa daga cikin abubuwan da yake.
Mun jawo hankalin jama'a akan cewa wannan bashi da za a da kuma taimako da za a ba mutanenmu na bangaren noma shi ne mafi alfanu a gare mu a wannan lokaci, amma idan mun ɗauke shi da alfanun da ya cancanta. Alfanun kuma menene? Cewa mu karɓa mu maida. Idan muka karɓa muka maida ko muka biya wannan bashi, to wa'annan mutane za su samu ƙarfin gwiwar sake badawa domin haɓaka tattalin arzikin wannan yanki da wannan jiha tamu da kuma a Najeriya ma baki ɗaya.
From small rural farming communities in Jigawa state to playing in the global agricultural sector, the impact of Silvex is recognized even by government at all levels, with whom they partner to achieve greater impact. Government, no matter how ambitious and visionary, cannot do it alone. No wonder there is a shower of commendation from all angles for organizations like Silvex, who have taken the bull by the horn and have become progressive partners of government to create wealth and develop the economy.
Even here in Jigawa, we had sat down and said, look, this is a set of people we need to support. We were impressed because I'm sure you're aware that sometimes there are a lot of problems with these outgrower schemes, but they seem to have found a way of working well with the farmers. Secondly, they had realized the importance of partnership, which is sometimes some things we don't do. Third, there's innovation. And I personally believe that innovation in the agricultural sector is what is going to liberate us.
The innovative spirit and commitment of the Silvex team have also not gone unnoticed. For the Jigawa State Investment Promotion Agency, they deserve all the support and cooperation they can get.
When we attended that, the flag off, we saw how passionate they were and how serious they were. So even before the Rice Farmers Field Day that we attended again, where I said, look, these people, we need to invite them, support them, encourage them, because with what they are doing in terms of innovation, at the end of the day, we are helping our own individual farmers, because these farmers will see the innovation and start adopting, apart from the traditional ways of doing things. You know, we do a lot of traditional practice in terms of our agriculture. Then with the Rice Farmers 2021 Field Day, when we were informed that they had now formed a consortium called Kadume Green Consortium, we were really happy.
Another crucial agency that Silvex is collaborating with is the Hadeja Jama'are River Basin Development Authority. As the managing director says, the efforts of Silvex and its sister partners cannot be ignored, considering the socio-economic benefits of the large rice value chain.
Starting from land preparation to harvest, a hectare of land can employ a minimum of 12 people for the 3 months or 120 days life cycle of rice, from planting to harvest. From land preparation, if you are employing rice nursery or direct seeding, from direct seeding to transplanting, fertilizer application, weed control, pesticide and herbicide application, all of them to harvest. Then from harvest, after harvesting, you have opportunities like people who will market the produce after harvesting. You have also the people that will take the rice and supply it to the processors, to the mill.
Silvex International is certainly blazing the trail for other potential private sector investors to follow.
The Silvex project is private sector led, and that is what we have been actually clamoring and asking for, that private sector should invest heavily in agriculture, because the private sector do things better than the government managed projects because of lapses in the government managed projects. From the start, I have been part of the Silvex project. Like in Hadeja, it is a 900 hectare project where farmers were engaged, supplied with the basic requirements of the rice cultivation, the good seeds, the good fertilizers, and above all, the extension service provided for the farmers to be able to manage the fields well. It has been a very wonderful project. The farmers engaged are now very much happy, and the fields are now looking green and better than ever before.
Dynamic, innovative, strategic and efficient are just a few words with which one can describe Silvex International Limited. Unlike many who would identify a problem and simply complain endlessly, Silvex has taken up the challenge to build wealth even in the remotest of communities across Nigeria. While the rice project is getting a lot of attention, it is not the only commodity the company is interested in. Their rich portfolio and broad scope are enviable, and the profit they seek lie in the smiles and success of these smallholder farmers. The company's interest in processing is also worthy of note.
Muna ba da iri ne tun daga farko zuwa gona waɗanda kwastomomi da banki ba su don su shuka. Idan suka shuka din nan suka kawo mana shi kuma mukan sa a injina na zamani mu wanke shi ya zama cewa dan dai mu inganta irin mu tun daga su gurin su har zuwa kamfani wanda idan ka zo kasuwar Duwanan duk zan iya ma alfahari ma duk koda ka waje ka fita zaka iya samun inda aka ce ma daga kamfanin Silvex ne aka producing din wannan riɗi to zaka same shi yafi kowanne kamfani a kasuwar Dawanau.
Idan ka lura za ka ga sabbin machines ne yanzu Silvex ta canja saboda ta lura cewa waɗancan machines din sun ɗauki wasu lokuta suna aiki ta ga kuma dacewar ba wai don sun mutu ba ko wani abu ta canja ta ga dacewar ya kamata a ce an canja waɗannan machines din. So wannan na ɗaya daga cikin abubuwan da ke ƙara inganta aikin namu kuma ake sha'awar shi.
We supply these farmers with top notch, of input, the best quality of input, and we are also supporting them with high quality and very high yielding seeds. And most of these seeds are also flood tolerant, so which is an additional advantage to the farmer. And when you look at it, the farmers' yields have significantly improved. Farmers that are getting an average of 4 tons per hectare are now getting 9 tons, 8 tons, 7 tons is the minimum we are getting out of the project. And we supply this input to the farmers at prevailing market prices, and we also buy from them at prevailing market price.
The team at Silvex is a group of well-trained professionals whose primary goal is to ensure quality service delivery, client satisfaction, and overall success of its projects. It is not just about profit only, but responsible practices as well.
This is what every entrepreneur should be looking at. Of course, profit is a key of every business, but at the same time, we are so humane to do things from different perspectives. One other example that I would like to give is that while other entrepreneurs and other agribusiness companies might be very mindful on only how to get what they have invested in farmers in terms of every scheme of outgrower, we are also very mindful on the demands of the global market, because we believe that we will have to do whatever it takes to penetrate key global market as players. And how do we do that? The only way to do that is to make sure that there is a very good chain of tracing whatever we are taking to the market, because people are becoming very mindful of what they eat. People are becoming wiser on tracing the actual source of what you are giving them, and that is why the issues of traceability and humane sourcing came into being.
For Silvex, it has been a rewarding journey so far, but the prospects of the future far outweigh the successes and challenges of the past. The team is focused more than ever before to drive the much-needed transformation in Nigeria's agricultural sector.
I've been in operation for almost a decade now, and largely we are driving the fact that we don't see this business as just a business. We see it as a way of life. We see agriculture as a way of life. And Nigeria presents tremendous opportunities. And I strongly believe that the best way to solve most of our problems in Nigeria is by solving the problems in the agricultural sector.
This is one company that has stayed true to its vision of transforming the agricultural landscape in Nigeria 1 hectare at a time. Through consistency, determination and innovation, they are proving that little steps taken consistently is enough to complete a huge journey.